Okay, we're live. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's gonna be a rebroadcast. We had one earlier, but it looks like it made it to um, one section, but it never made it to YouTube. So let me go ahead and switch over real quick, and let's go ahead and kick off the live stream, at least the recast. Bear with me real quick. Let me just shut a few things off. Check. I think we're online. Okay, we're online. Hi, I'm Glenn at COAF Field Team on YouTube. And today we're talking about, well, we call it the mobile live stream or mobilefisherman.com. It's a website that we kind of shifted over to and started, just started to replace some of the other stuff. And so what I'll do is take the opportunity and give you an idea of what this is about, as well as give you some fishing updates, some recent happenings. So let's go ahead and take you to the site. In this case, it is, I call it the Mobile Fisherman, mobilefisherman.com. And here you can see a whole bunch of stuff that's available to you to check out things. And in this case, the motto, learn to fish by our trials or errors, because yours truly has had over the years made a few mistakes, caught a few fish, lost a few fish, lost a lot of fish. But that said, maybe there's something that folks can take away from with that and be able to learn about fishing and whatnot. So this is mobilefisherman.com, and it ties into our YouTube channel. And I'm just going to run through some of the key things that have happened recently, and then also point out things using this website. So let's start out with right here. You can see some various posts that I've put on the site here, and I'll just talk to them. The first one is TRWD Fly Fest mobile fishing live stream. So while I was there this past weekend, I even got a little sunburn and whatnot, and lost a few skin cells here. Was able to get some video using the a live stream, a mobile live stream, and here is just a series of videos of that day. They're not edited, just went right through and filmed it as is. So 8:30 a.m. check-in. There's a 10:30 a.m. check-in. Looking at the big trout contest, you got heat 1 partial to heat 2, and then another partial on heat 2, and then right along with heat 3 all the way to heat 4. And that was the big trout contest. Let's see, as part of TRWD Fly Fest right here. All right, and the key thing about TRWD Fly Fest is it'll happen again next year. Hopefully, you should be out there again, be able to give you another one of these impromptu on the site live stream. So it was a fun event. A lot of trout caught and released. It was a catch and release contest, and I think the biggest one went over 23 and a quarter, 3/4 inches. So keep that in back pocket when you're looking at TRWD Fly Fest. And you can find it on our website. This is mobilefisherman.com, or you can get it at COAF Field Team on YouTube. It's all in there. I just use this to collate some different things that I've had over the years when it came to some various sites that we've had. In fact, let me talk more of that. So over the years, I've put together several blogs, websites that tie into, I kind of use it as a fishing journal. And down here, it started out as City of Allen Fishing .blogspot.com. Later on, it became StalkerTroutFishing.com, and then that got converted to Stalker Trout Fishing News. There was some fishing hacks, that some key lessons learned, tips and whatnot about fishing. So posted that, and then I Fish News, which is like a fishing podcast, where I captured some key things out of the Little Red Book of Fly Fishing. So do take a look at that one. And it's all on this website. You'll be able to navigate to different places. Additionally, if you go to the sidebar right over here, you can see that there are the archive fishing blogs off to the left. You got the fishing hacks, the iFish News fishing podcast, City of Allen Fishing. as well as some different blogs. While you're dining, that's one where I like to post things about various places I've gone, eaten, and whatnot. Wino's Wine Guide, different wines and drinks. A little movie review, black coffee review, because I like my coffee black, uh, leaded instead of unleaded. And then take a look at some metal detecting. So, hey, you got to do some metal detecting on the side. Maybe find a treasure or two. Sort of like fishing. They call it dirt fishing. Well, hey, yours truly does it. Along with G's ukulele. That's yours truly, Glenn, playing a little ukulele. Because, hey, it's okay to chill with an ukulele. Everybody loves an ukulele. All right, so that was our blog pointing to the Big Trout Contest, GRWD Fly Fest. That's one of the posts in the website itself. And let's see if I can shift over. There it is, TRWD Fly Fest Mobile Fishing Live Stream. Okay, so the other thing is this time of year, since it closed out the cold weather season, I kind of use that opportunity at TRWD Fly Fest to say, okay, we're going to transition from cold weather to or colder weather species into some more pond fishing since we're here in the spring, but eventually shift into kayak fishing as well as looking into maybe a potential run to the coast. And so be later in the year when we go, especially if we're thinking about going to Galveston. So, hey, I found out that there are some certain live cameras that are out there. So, well, while I'm not being able to go to the coast, I can at least take a look at what's out there. So here's the Galveston Fishing Pier. And if I click on it, it's a live view of what's there. And that is our post in the mobilefisherman.com website. It's called Cool Live Cameras at the Galveston Fishing Piers. So plural S. And so here is the Galveston Fishing Pier. That's one over there by 95th Street and the seawall. You can get a good idea of what's hanging out there. Looks like it's well, the water looks a little brownish, cloudy. Look like some folks walking about and whatnot. But hey, the other day I was able to at least observe some folks out there fishing. The 61st Street Fishing Pier, there's also a live cam there, but unfortunately, it looks like it's down for maintenance currently. But I've gone back and forth throughout the week and checked it out. And although it's missing the T head that it used to be, and it's more like an L head, still a good one to take a look at. And then if you do make it to the website and you're thinking about making a run to the Galveston, posted an article way back when, well, January 21, it looks like 2022. Actually, that's incorrect. That's just, I think, a post or something that I did for something else. But anyways, fishing in Galveston, you go to there, you'll be able to get a good view or at least some information on what's available, some potential fishing opportunities there in the Galveston area. But that said, you can also maybe, if you're not in the mood to go fishing, they do have a live pier cam over at the Pleasure Pier. It's that amusement park area. You can see that there's a lot of folks out there today, still out there today. I think it's spring break for some folks here in Texas. So that's a good one to take a look at. And then I got this one on the Texas City Dike throughout the day. Oops, let me see if I can click on it and get you a live version of it. There we go. So it looks like there's some folks out on the Texas City Dike fishing. See some movement back. Ooh, yeah, it's moving around. So I see some movement back over here where there's some lights. Someone's fishing. It looks like there's a car over here. Someone camping. So hey, opportunity to get an idea of what's in the area just up the road from the Galveston Island. Also, Saltwater Recon, they're the ones that actually have a lot of these live cams or cameras on the web available for folks to see. This one is the Causeway at Galveston. Let me see if I can click on that one. There's also, if you go to their site itself, you can actually see a view of the Trinity Bay area also. And so I've got this one as a live feed to the website. And so, hey, if I feel like, hey, how are things on the coast, I get a good idea of, there's traffic over here on the Galveston Causeway. There's some things that are happening over here at the Texas City Dike. Switch up here. Pleasure Pier is busy. Come back up. Oh, maybe I forgot a thing or two about fishing in Galveston, so I can read an article. And then right now, 61st Street's pier cam is down for maintenance, but when it is available, you'll be able to see that information right here, or at least that video. And then the Galveston Fishing Pier is live right here. 2034, March 15, 2023 is what it's showing. So take a look at that one. It's on our mobilefisherman.com site. Just look for cool live cameras at the Galveston Fishing Pier, is that post. All right. One I'm working on is Port Aransas live cameras. Yours truly down from the coast. Grew up in that area. Definitely love the area, as well as just keeping track of what things are happening. And in this case, I'm still working on it. I still have some other camera feeds to add to it, but this is what I like about the ferry cam. Kind of gets you a good idea as to what the traffic's like, because I remember back in the day you used to have to wait a few sometimes when it got really busy. I'm just going to refresh it real quick, give you an idea of what's down there right now. So that's the view of the ferry cam. At least this is at 5:16 p.m. It hasn't refreshed yet, but it does so intermittently, periodically, or some kind of recurring cadence. So that's a good one to take a look at, especially if you want to know what the traffic's like as you head to the island there. And this is Port Aransas. Additionally, Dolphin Docks, they also have some webcams that give you an idea of what's happening on the dock. Got a view of, you got a view of what's happening here at the parking lot, and then over here at one of their docks, and then here's another dock. And I looked at it the other day just to see how things are, and you can actually see folks coming off and on the boat, as well as the measurement and whatnot of what's been caught. So kind of like that one. There's some other cameras. Again, this is one that I'm working on still to add to the website, but right now I just have the ferry cam and then the Dolphin Docks webcam on there right now. But hey, you feel like me that run to the coast, hey, you can take a look at it real quick. All right, next thing is online articles. So before, I had everything kind of interspersed throughout the different blogs, collated all the information into the mobilefisherman.com site, and decided to, hey, let's make it even easier if we want to go to our online articles. These are ones that are posted on or hosted by hub pages, and depending on its published status, it may be in there as a hub page article. It may be in there as one of their other platforms that they use when they do post one of these. So if you click on it, it'll take you to the site itself, or correction, to, let me refresh this, to the online articles thumbnails right here, and you can see there's some bait fishing rigs that I'm talking about here, kayaking information, where to fish, so some suggestions there, as well as some recipes. And when you click on it, it'll actually take you to the site itself that is being discussed. In this case, this first one, for example, power fishing rigs for rainbow trout. That's been a popular one over the years. It talks about power bait and the different fishing rigs. The simple dough bait recipe, it's one that's a very simple recipe, but it has been effective. In fact, I do have some over here in my freezer right now, or my fridge here in the home office. Well, standing by for another fishing opportunity. How to set up bubble fly rigs. That's been a good one for those that don't fly fish, but they want to fish with some flies. Over the years, since I've posted this, that's come to be fairly popular. Gives you ideas of different bubble fly rigs to use. And then back here, making a sabiki rig for white bass. This one talks more of setting up your slab and jig rig so that you're using a sabiki style knot setup. And what that does is it gives you a little bit more, less tangling, I would say, if you're going to put a bunch of fishing flies here. In this case, I used to put 4 crappie jigs, sabiki rigged style, so they don't or they wouldn't tangle, and then I would have a slab on the end and go do some trolling over at the local lake, and I get 3, 4, 5 fish on the line sometimes, and hey, it's fun. But now I kind of limit it to maybe two crappie jigs along with the slab now. Alrighty, so that was the bait fishing rig. Kayaking, got some information about kayak jug fishing, jug line fishing, as well as tips on buying a kayak, and then some tips for trolling, specifically talking about some safety things that you should have, or some suggestions that hey, if you do want to start getting into kayaking, hey, this is a good one to take a look at. From the Where to Fish piece, Lower Illinois River, Hughes Crossing, Fishing Galveston, Lower Mountain Fork, and there's some more other ones. If you go to the actual profile page, if you click right here at the Hubbing 84 link, it takes you to Hub Pages, our profile or my profile, and you can see all the different articles that have been posted there directly as well. From a recipe standpoint, I think there's more than 4, but these are some of the key takeaways. Because one day I was out there and I got asked, "Hey, how do you cook your trout?" And so I kept it like over the years. It seems like depending on the size of the trout, there's a particular way that I'll cook it. If it's a small stocker trout, like the 9 to 10-inch size ones, I'll usually just pan fry them, head and everything, just gut and gill them. And next one up, there's the one where you'll do like a butterfly setup where you butterfly the fish and you can cook it on a plank, a grilled plank trout recipe right here. And that's a good one that I like. And then the bigger one, I'll tend to either fillet it so that I have some nice size fillets, or maybe potentially cook the whole thing and broil it. So, and then the recipe for a beer batter fish fry. This is a really good one. It's been tweaked a little bit. We got it off a kayak fishing magazine from years ago, and kind of been tweaking it and over the years and finally posted it. And this one comes out with a nice, really crispy batter. Not like a tempura, but not like a sweet and sour type batter. I would say more like a tempura batter, and it turns out really nice. There's also a the tartar sauce recipe, or my version of the tartar sauce to use. Look at that one also. That's a very good one. It definitely complements the little fish beer batter fish fry nuggets in this case, where I typically do that with catfish. And then back here, cooking trout. There's like 2 recipes there. I think I posted at the beginning of the year. So do take a look at this one. It's on the online articles post. There's also an online articles page. There are various thumbnails here that you click on it. It takes you to the actual site. There's different sections. You got fishing flies, more fishing flies, and more fishing flies, plus more. So over the years, I've demoed and written things about different fishing flies that seem to be, one, very simple to use. Additionally, very simple to tie, and they do catch fish. So check that out. And some other thing is there's a piece here about increasing your catch with tandem rigged fishing flies. That's a good one to give you a little tactic on how to catch a fish or 2 when it comes to those tandem rigs, and maybe increasing your catch. Get some limits in one, especially when they're really picky. The other thing is some quick tips when fishing with nymphs. This is one that I've used kind of when I made a trip. I believe it was to the Blue River, and I got skunked fishing various fishing flies, and then it came down to a nymph, a very tiny nymph, in fact. Anyways, take a look at that one. This is all about fishing flies in this section. And then if you go down a little bit more, there's another mix again. Here's some in particular talking about fishing the Guadalupe River over there by New Braunfels, Texas, down South Texas area, or at least closer to like the hill country, South Texas coast edge. So you got Waco Springs. I don't know. It's I never know how it's pronounced. Maybe it's Waco. I don't know. I call it Waco. Just cause sounds cool. Lazy LNL, that was a good one, especially when they're stocking some trout in some of those areas. There's some key things that you can take away from that article, along with Real Raft and that opportunity to fish that area as well. That's further up the river, closer to the dam section versus further down south, like Waco Springs. But that has some opportunities for nice catching or nice sized trout. Just FYI, that's in the special regulation zone, so special tackle as well as special size limitation or restrictions. And then there's just an overview of Guadalupe River rainbow trout fishing in general here. Over here, you got some more places to fish. They are kind of outdated in one case. In this case, Bob Hall Pier Fishing. That one is, well, that was before a certain hurricane kind of tore it up. I know that there's some ongoing things that are gonna hopefully build it back here sooner than later. When it does, yours truly is gonna really love it because that was one of my favorite piers growing up back then. Fishing the Bob Hall Pier for various fish and whatnot, specifically some larger size fish. Um, Over there on the coast, over there on the island, South Padre, North Padre Island section, closer to the Corpus Christi area. And then kayak fishing, some more information there about Lake Texoma and some various places to put in, or suggested places to put in. And then there's some, it's an outdated article in this case, Texas Fishing Piers, but there are some useful information there that you want to kind of take away from as well. Going into DIY things, I've got the tennis ball fishing float, simple ghost shrimp bait pump. That's been a pretty high volume read over the years as well. I guess there's a lot of folks that want to build one themselves and maybe try catching some of those ghost shrimp, especially over there on the coast. Just got to keep in mind that there are some special restrictions when it comes to those ghost shrimp and how much you can use or catch during a day. I don't know what they are offhand, but I remember before, I think it was like 20 that you could catch in a day and use as bait. On the tennis ball fishing float, this is one that I took away when I was fishing back in Oceanside, California, on the Oceanside Pier. And I noticed some folks out there using tennis balls as floats. And they were using some casting gear with long rods, with long handles. The key was they were not casting overhead. There's a restriction on the Oceanside Pier when yours truly was fishing it back then, back in California, and you could not cast overhead. Instead, you had to cast underhand, or just basically toss your rig out there. And I noticed these guys were able to use this long-handled rig, these tennis ball floats, and basically trail it as a kind of a jig and fly float or float and jig rig. So they have a float, and there'd be a some type of be it jig, typically a bucktail jig, or it looked like maybe even a clouser minnow that they were using with I think it was like anywhere between 6 to 10 feet of extra line past that tennis ball, and they were able to crank it out there and get it out to the bonita that would be hitting the surface, as well as mackerel that were going by. Initially, well, that was a good opportunity to basically increase your opportunity for a hookup when those schools were running along the pier or along the coast, and trying to stay in the pier restrictions, or at least pier rules, where you could not have an overhead cast. So take a look at that one. It's a very simple DIY setup, and hey, that tennis ball piece can definitely fly out there and you get the right rhythm and whatnot. Another article that has been a very popular one over the years also is modifying the ultralight rod for microfishing. And so this is where I took a pen rod, one of these little rods that use a pin, or that looks like a pin, and I modified it into a micro fly rod. And that one has been popular. I've got 4 up here, back in here somewhere along the wall. I got rods everywhere, and 3 of the walls, there's rods, along with back in the corner over there. But there are 4 microfly rods. Some using the setup here, then one that I did a modification. But that's a good one to take a look at if you want to try doing some micro fishing. It's been a very portable fly rod that I've had over the years, and in fact I've used one that actually caught a nice sized catfish using it. Simple green LED fishing light. This is one that's a series of articles on how to build it and some circuitry that well, I coerced my son to build me a circuit that could use these LED lights. This is back before the green LED lights were out there, and they cost a ton, a lot more than I wanted to pay. So I made my own using the circuitry designed for my son, and did a little test on it. And with a 9-volt battery, I was able to keep that light going for at least, it was almost, or if not 5 days before I saw the light weaken. So it works good. It's using some PVC here, but in fact over here you can see a little bit red. In fact, let me see if I can grab it real quick and I can show you what I mean. Okay, I'm back. Okay, in red right here, you can see something right here. So let me change this real quick. No, not that one. Let's go back right here. Okay, so this is this is the setup. Just a little cap here. It's got the circuitry. Put your 9-volt battery here. Put it on there, and all three of these light up. I since changed it from a PVC. Then I found out that I can grab one of these babies from the Container Store right here and pop this, and right here I have another one where again I have that set up, right? And I wonder if I have a 9-volt battery nearby. I can show you. I think I do. Here, give me a second real quick. Let me go grab it. Okay, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, so here it is. 9-volt battery. It's a little dusty, but just put it on here and right there. All right. And yeah, it'll last about 5 days. Right. Yeah, it's pretty bright. And it's mainly used as an attractant to the fish. All right. So take a look at that article. There's I think it's 4 or 3. And I actually never finished the whole thing because I got sidetracked with different things, and I finally settled on, instead of this PVC, I went with this baby right here. So hey, check it out. Let me know if you want to know more, and maybe do another one in particular with this light. I still got the PVC version of it as well as this version. I can talk to that if well, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do another live stream on that. Talk about it in particular. All right. Some more information. The Water Wolf camera. It's a camera that I lost while I was kayak fishing. I've since replaced with the Go Fish cam. I think they came out with another one, another version of the Water Wolf camera. But this one just gives you some information. Oh wait, let's go back here. This one gives you some information on how to rig it, or a suggestion on how to rig it, so you get some better shots with it. So hey, take a look at that. The simple fish tail mount is you caught a fish and you want to save the moment by mounting the tail. This is one to take a look at. Let me try clicking on it real quick. Let's see. Maybe you'll see parts of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, right there's the tail. Let's see. Different articles explains how to use it. So let me see if I can find the end picture of it. Oh, here we go. Right there. This is a Spanish mackerel I caught on the Galveston Pier. And then this is a little Jack Crevalle there, Port A, that we used to make those little fishtail mounts. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. All right, let's go back. Let's see, there's a simple mini balsa wood lei. This is one that I put together, and I use it in particular to make these balsa wood poppers for tube flies, or tube poppers. And I think there's an article on that. The DIY fly line leader, that article talks about the recipes I use for making my own fly line leader, instead of purchasing those tapered ones that are much more expensive at the stores. Okay, the last section, and I believe there's still some more of these articles, but just wanted to talk about these different ones, to include some different fishing things, more fishing things, oops, and then other things. There's some stuff about duck hunting. You know, surely when I used to duck hunt the local lake, there was good information there that you want to kind of keep in your back pocket. A quickie little article on better YouTube videos for amateurs. Yours truly is an amateur. I'm an average Joe. I'm not a cinematographer or anything, but bottom line, there's some key things that you want to take away from being able to post videos. And I think the big lesson learned is when you do post a video, audio is more important than video. You have good audio, you'll tend to have more engagement with the audience and staying on versus if you have great video but terrible audio, you're probably going to lose the viewer. There's one on do-it-yourself quilting extension table. I did that one because I had a honeydew piece, and I decided, hey, if I'm going to do this, I might as well go and take a step-by-step pictures of it and just post how I made that. And then there's some let's see, 10-minute short story about two people who meet by chance. This is one of my I guess popular short stories I posted years ago, and well, take a look at it. It's been a pretty good one. Lessons learned while fishing with Dad, with some information about some lessons learned that well, I think it was me that I taught. I'm the dad and was my kids, but yeah, take a look at that one. All right, moments in time, a fish story. I think that was just talking about my first two fish. Take a look at that one. The first date movie review. This is one that I kind of morphed into different ways of capturing, at least critiquing a particular movie. This one's just talking about a first date movie, meaning this is one okay to take someone on a first date, and others where you need to stay away from, especially if it's going to be a first date. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to, let's see, the main page. So when you log into mobilefisherman.com right here, you get the little featured posts. That's just more of a backup about us page, but where your key posts are right here. And what I just went through was, let's start out with right here, TRWD Fly Fest, the mobile fishing live stream, the cool live cameras at the Galveston fishing piers, and then I broke away from there and talked about Port Aransas, one that I'm working on for those live cameras. Then the online articles, and then this is one I was getting to. This is the new real-time release for Denison Dam. What is water flow status at Lake Texoma's tail race? And right here is the details of it. And what happened was, over the years, there was one post I created on the City of Island Fishing blogspot.com website where it talked about how to read the information that's posted by Corps of Engineers as well as the Southwestern Power Authority or administration. And when I posted that years ago, over the years, well, they've been changing that information that's posted or how it's posted. And what I did was, well, I might as well go ahead and give an updated version. So this one is the updated version. It's in a format sort of like for those that work in things that require procedures. This is a method of procedure for determining the real-time release for Denison Dam. And this is a good one to take a look at because it actually just walks you through an example as you go to different sites and get the information that you need. And bottom line, it goes down to the final step 3, where you've collated the information, you've gotten all the details, and actually it doesn't take much to do this. I can do this in about 5 minutes and figure out how I'm going to plan for a particular fishing trip when I'm going to that tail race. It says it's for Denison Dam, but it actually can be used for other dams, because when you go to the Southwestern Power Administration site, it actually talks of some specifics for that particular region. And in there it has Denison Dam, but it also has dams up in Oklahoma as well as here in Texas. And I think there's some that may be in other states. But take a look at that one. The way I read the Denison Dam information to figure out how I was going to fish a particular day, making a trip up there, would apply also for those other dams. It's the same methodology. All right, so that was the new real-time release for Denison Dam information. Okay, and here's a little YouTube video here of yours truly catching a nice sized striped bass. And then here's a longer YouTube video that's talking about some striped bass fishing fun, where yours truly is sitting here on a rock in the middle of a river with my switch rod, and I'm catching a number of striped bass. So that's a good one to take a look at as well. All right. So what I would say at this point is Uh, um, well, I'll close out the live stream. This is the Let's Talk Fishing series um, that I started, kind of shifting away from just doing videos of yours truly catching a fish and kind of going into a live version of it. And so I've got three methods of doing so. Um, got a GoPro live stream that feeds into my phone, that which then feeds into YouTube, and you can see the action there live. I did that when I fished Caruth Park, as well as when I fished the local pond over here for some bass. Catches all the mistakes, catches the good stuff and the bad stuff. There's no editing. It is what it is. Additionally, there's also another one where I call it the Out and About Fishing Series. This is where I actually have a multi-camera setup, typically just two cameras with a video switcher, and it does have a video loop capability, so I can run some video on the background in case things kind of slow. And what that one is more where I'm just commentating or being the host, and I'm talking about what's happening there. I kind of like the GoPro one because I can fish and also do the live stream. But in the case of the switcher, I'm stuck to that camera and or that switcher, and basically managing the stream and letting you know what's happening, switching video and whatnot, and commentating or commenting. And then finally, the last version of the mobile live stream, that's what we call on our site, mobilefisherman.com, is this form right here. This is where I'm actually using Prism Live Studio. I used to use OBS, but now I use this Prism Live Studio because I think it's a lot more easier to transition between scenes. So in this case, this is one scene where it's just a talking head one. This is one where I'm talking about a particular website here on one monitor. Switch over, I go to another monitor here and just flip through what I need to tell you. Other cases, I can even run video, and you can hear the on the stream itself what I'm hearing also. And then there's an intro one where I've got like a little chat window here for those that want to send a howdy while we're talking, and another talking head video here. Kept it fairly simple. I've got this one Logitech camera here, webcam, and then I also have a SLR camera here. It's off right now. I mainly use this one because it's on manual focus. I'm able to take what I have, like in this case, this right here, and take it to the other camera. In fact, here, let me go ahead and show you. It won't take much. Let me flip it open. And what I like about this is I'm able to take it that one step and give you a close-up view of what I'm talking about. So okay, right here I can now go, okay, here is that circuit, or in this case, here is a particular fishing fly, okay, and I can zoom in a little bit here. Right now you got my camera piece here, or my microphone right here, but so what's nice about this is I can tell you, here's what I see, and actually show you at the same time, all right, in very detailed. Very detailed. Okay, so that's the setup that I have, and that's what I'm using for the third method, or third means to do some live streaming. So mobilefisherman.com, that's our website, or my website, and at COAF Field Team, if you do that on YouTube, or just go COAF Field Team, you'll get to the video portion of it, and that's pretty much how you can see or get an idea, going back to our motto: learn to fish by our trials and errors. All right, so all for now, till next time, we'll catch y'all later, and good luck, good fishing. All right, it looks like that's done. So it's a rebroadcast of the earlier one. Somehow we got it to post onto Facebook, but we weren't able to get it to YouTube. So hopefully I remedied that. And again, the big thing I wanted to show folks was that you can get, well, an idea of what we do from the website standpoint. In this case, that mobilefisherman.com website. And let's see. I think we'll just close out things for now. Okay. So apologize for some of the hiccups. Didn't know. I think it was a change where it doesn't trigger the show anymore, or at least from the Prime Prism Live Studio, you have to trigger it on YouTube first, and then it goes. So again, all for now. Check back later. Next time we'll get you out there. And good luck and good fishing.